if you really want to get into the sync world, I think it's good to define, are you looking to get a song onto a TV show because it'll make you happy? Or are you looking to build a business? Because those are two different things.
It's a great question to ask somebody like me. To be honest,
Ain't nothing but the real thing.
yeah, Ray William Porter Jr. I am a retired recording engineer. So even though I was in the industry for 13 years, that's removed by 40 years. So it's a whole new ball game. However, everything I did and learned in 81 to 93 is still very relevant. It's just a matter of me finding my way. When I was 25, 60 to 70 hours to be in the music business was not unusual, but uh,
Of
I
course.
can't do that yet. And of course, I'd like it to be 40 hours, but with people who I want to deal with,
Of course. And with the advancements of AI, you won't have to spend as many hours. I mean,
True.
that's the
I,
that's what's coming around, is that you won't have to spend as
I
many
am
hours.
using it. I'm
Yeah.
actively using it. Yes.
And you're from Philly?
I'm from Philly.
Okay,
Yes.
okay. All right.
I live in Medford Lakes, New Jersey, which is a half hour out of Philly.
Yeah, I know where
And
that
I've
is.
lived when I left the music business, it was because of hypertension, high blood pressure after
Oh,
13 years. And then they were putting me on planes going all over the place. And, you come out of a studio 10 hours. And I wanted to meet like a girl that I wanted to marry. So, with all this said and done, I went, you know what? She wanted me to keep going. She'll say, I'll travel with you. I said, that's not the life I see it for us. We want to have children and I want to settle down, buy a home. And I did. And
okay.
now it's 30 years later and I can't sleep at night. And somebody's knocking on my head at 3 a.m. saying, just write some songs, even if it's just for you.
So the woman that you were going to see ends up being your wife. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, wow. And 30 years later, you've been together for 30 years. Amazing. That's that's
We
okay. Hey, listen, beautiful story. There's not a lot of people who are around who can say right now that they've been married for this long, especially in today's climate of dating. I talk to my nephews and my cousins, and I ask them like, how's your dating world? And it's just such a different scene going on with the way people interact in this generation. So just for you to say 30 years, man, that's amazing. That's amazing.
She's definitely a soulmate.
That's a beautiful
She's
thing to
been
hear.
great. So I'm satisfied. I don't
Good.
feel I have to get in the music business. I
Okay.
don't have to do anything. This person knocking on my head says,
Yeah.
I want you to share.
Okay.
So figure out how to share and don't waste your time. And that's what I want
Okay.
you. I want you to share and hopefully collaborate.
So
That's
this reason, let's say for anything I can help you with is, and I just want to say it to make sure I'm on the same page. This is not like I'm trying to make tons of money. This is, I have something I want to share and I want to be around other people who have that similar energy and mindset to put it out into the world, because I feel like there's something in me that I want to get out. Is that
100%, Adam.
okay? Perfect. Okay, so I know you brought a song in today, so let me do a quick listen. Let me
It's been a long time coming for me. One step at a time, we can make it. If you follow me over the line, we can still make it. I hear it all the time. I know that I can take
it. All right. All right, man. If I can give you any advice, what would best help you today?
Well, honest opinions, the vocal's going to be redone and reworked a little bit. That was a scratch vocal, a creation vocal, I call them.
Yeah.
But it is going to go kind of that way. That's my voice.
But what kind of advice or perspective are you looking from me? Like, and the reason why I ask this is because I always want to respect people's creations and say one thing that might be passionate for someone is in what they want to put out into the world might be different from what people are looking for in a business. So I never want to give someone like a business review based on something that's passionate for them. So it's best to tell me from your eyes what kind of perspective can I help you with?
Well, I'm trying to bring my ideas and grow with them from my past and obviously what I love,
Yeah,
arena rock. I love arena rock. I grew up with it
yeah.
in the 70s and 80s. And then I learned R&B and pop and I went, "Oh, this is cool too." I'll also do that
Okay.
in a folk style, country folk type songs. I
Okay. So once again, if I can give you any perspective, what would you want me to focus on? That's what my question is.
bring in my idea of what I think I can share and vocally, I mean, lyrically, because I do think positive messages are lacking.
Yeah, I agree.
Uh, and I feel that especially in
I guess
pop
let me do this.
music,
Let me do this. Remember, let me help you. Put it in a sentence and a question.
how do I get my get into sync with maybe my voice and my attitude
Okay.
when everyone's looking for female pop vocals?
That's a very good question. Okay. If you really want to get into the sync world, I think it's good to define, are you looking to get a song onto a TV show because it'll make you happy? Or are you looking to build a business? Because those are two different things.
It's a great question to ask somebody like me. I'm actually looking to be honest,
Yeah.
before realized sync is a big thing right now, and now I am getting a lot of things soliciting to do
Yeah.
sync, do this, do
Of
that, do
course. Of course.
it's almost ridiculous,
It's
and
overwhelming.
it's turning me off.
It
Is what
should. It should, because here's the reality to this. There's a lot of people in this quote unquote sync world that are just trying to make money off of people's dreams.
they are. Eh,
Yeah.
it's nonstop. It's almost daily to me, and
Yeah.
I might even have reached out to some people, and when they get back to me and they say, "Yeah, I'll talk to you for $200," and
Yeah.
I get it. I ran a business, so,
Of course.
but, it turns out, they're saying things like, "And maybe I'll use you with,"
Yep.
this music supervisor saying
Yep.
that, and
Yep.
I'm going, "Wow, these are music supervisors saying this to me directly," and it's been a real turn off.
To me, what's unfortunate about seeing this is because so many people have muddied the waters. When I tell people the honest truth of this isn't for everyone, it's not like everyone can do this. You actually have to be really talented. And what a lot of people don't know is many of the people who are the top in sync are people who are signed to record deals and signed to publishing deals. Their deal, for whatever reason, ended and they had a very high level of a skill set. So the next thing for them to do, or people who are on tours, and they were like, you know what, I don't want to tour anymore. I don't want to sign to a label because I sign away my masters when I do that. I'm going to move into sync. So when they were meeting A&R, they were sometimes meeting A&R that already knew them from being at a professional recording studio or professional record label. So when that
Right,
transition happened, the A&R was like, oh, I can't wait to work with you because I know how talented you are. And I know you can hit 48-hour deadlines. I know you understand how to write artistically. I know I can teach you how to write to a brief. So a lot of the people who went over to sync, myself included, were people who came from that world. But then all of a sudden, there was some people who were landing songs in TV shows and films, and they realized, oh, wait, I can make more money selling the idea to others than making the music. And it's gotten so weird out there.
that's
I
it.
mean, this is one of the reasons why I like to come and help people. So I can say, listen, this business, if you're trying to make it into a business, is something that you need certain attributes. And the attributes would be 48-hour turnarounds, meaning you can do a high quality song. You need to be
Right,
able to read a brief really well. A lot of people cannot read briefs very well. They think they can, but they're missing the mark so much because they're not around someone else who can show them, like an executive is thinking, no, this is all the points that you missed in reading this brief. I see it all the time. Reading a brief is not as easy as people think.
no, there's an
Then
art to it. I
there's,
noticed that.
and I understand paying for knowledge
Yeah,
because you're not going to find everything free. And I think that's also this juxtaposition that we're in modern world is the person who's looking to make, let's say, six figures a year also wants the information to do that for free. And
Takes
so
money to make
it
money.
takes money to make money. So there is this kind of balance where I understand if you're paying for knowledge and the knowledge is viable and something that you will use that makes you more valuable, hey, listen,
Different ball game.
wherever you get that from, that's great. The trick to this though, it's extremely hard for someone who's not doing the thing they're selling to teach you how to do it. That's where it gets tricky. If I would never ask a nurse to teach me how to become a doctor,
Right.
would not do that. And so I
Yeah.
see a lot of this sort of mindset of like, I can just be kind of there and sell an idea to other people, and then I can make money off that rather than actually making great music. And that's why I always challenge people and says, when someone comes to me and they say, Adam, I'm working with this company, I go, play me the music of your mentors and show me their placements. And if the conversation goes, oh, well, I mean, they had in this commercial, I'm like, yeah, show me their just let me hear their catalog and let me hear that they made those songs. And if they made
Yeah.
those songs and they're great, hey, listen, learn from them because that's where the knowledge is. If they got these placements, learn from them. But I say that all that to say this. What is it that you're looking for? Are you looking for a like I said, to play something because it's going to make you feel fulfilled? Because that's a viable thing, or are you looking to build
A
a business?
publishing deal. A
You're looking for a
publishing deal.
publishing deal. Okay.
Uh, Back in the 80s,
Yeah.
I watched people around me get
Yeah.
publishing deals.
Yeah.
I wasn't ready for such a thing. I was just learning how to write,
Okay.
uh, from being an engineer. Now, obviously, I had to learn how to do that with all the analog equipment. So when I realized about 1985, 1986, 6 years into it, I did a contest for a major radio station, FM station in Philly, WYSP, Rock to Riches.
Okay.
And I got all my assistant engineers after work, and I'd say, look, you guys are going to record me. I'm going to write a song and we're going to learn together.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it after hours. Nobody's getting paid. And I submitted it to this and ended up coming in 5th and being put on the album, and it played for a year and the
Yeah.
big rock station in Philly.
But let's go back
In
to this pub deal things. Let's look at what you just said because we talked about sync for a second, but then you just said pub deal. Okay. Your eyes lit up a little bit when you heard the word pub deal.
they did.
Okay. Yeah. Let's look at what a pub deal is. A pub deal is a bank that's giving you a loan in order for you to write hit songs. So let's just have like a lot of clarity of that.
And then
A
you pay it back.
No,
Right.
but it's very important to say a bank that's giving you a loan to write hit songs. So when you said, I want a pub deal, my first question is, do you have songs that sound like hits?
I think so, but whether other people, I mean, that's subjective, but
But is it subjective?
on alternative radio, the
No,
song
no,
you
no,
just
no.
played
Hit
would
songs. Hit songs.
I would call that a hit song on the alternative radio, not on the pop radio,
Okay.
on alternative radio, what
You're
we
talking about
just
this
heard.
you're talking about the song I just heard you think is a hit song on alternative radio today.
I do.
Okay. So I would say that our objective perspectives are different right now.
And I've only known it for a week, that song. So, you know
What does
how it
that
is when
mean?
you first write a song, you go, "This is the best song I ever wrote." Then you write another song, "It's the best song I ever wrote." So,
Gotcha.
I'm
Gotcha.
too close to the music to answer
Okay.
that question.
Okay. So here is an important part though, is and I think maybe I can add some perspective of this. No matter how close I am to a song, I still have to be thinking like an A&R
Yes,
because I'm working on the business as well.
agreed.
So for you to say that you think that song sounds like a hit on today,
Alt radio.
any radio station, to think that it sounds
Okay.
like a hit today means you're not completely looking at it as an A&R or creative today. Okay. And that's important because when you say the word
Yeah.
publishing deal, what you're asking is, and let's look at it like this, you're asking someone to say, give me money for something that I cannot prove I do yet, but I want the chance to do something, even though you have other people in front of me who are proving they can do it. And that's an important question to ask yourself if you really want a publishing deal. Because if you're saying a publishing deal, you're going against people who do this every single day. These are Olympic athlete songwriters and producers,
Yeah, really good.
and they
Yes,
know
definitely.
what a hit song sounds like. They know it.
So number 2 would be collaborating with people of
Okay.
similar talent.
Okay.
Uh, and actually, that was the catalyst of me getting back into writing music. It wasn't just about
Collaboration.
me, it was about collaboration because that's where my engineering talents,
Yeah.
that's why I was successful for 13 years. I collaborated with a lot of different genres.
Well, I
Uh,
first want to say this too before we get into that. I think it's always great to have a big dream and to have a something that pushes you to say, you know what, I want to do something. And so when I'm giving you this advice, I'm not saying you can't end up doing those things at all. All I'm saying is the idea of wanting to go down that route without having enough information and at least the proper really like overview of what that thing is can sometimes lead people into what I've seen of like a dreaming delusion
yeah,
rather than a goal that they actually would accomplish. So what I always try to help to say people do is like think really big, big dream, but then make big actions towards that goal. Because if we think really big dream, but we don't make the same actions that go towards it, what happens is you go down the delusional side.
yeah.
And I see
And
people
I'm
get
staying
lost
away
there.
from that.
Good, because I see people get lost there all the time where they're like, "Yeah, I want a
Yeah,
record deal." And I'm like, "Who's handing out record deals nowadays? I want a
yeah.
I want a publishing deal." Do you know how hard it is to get a publishing deal unless you have 30 songs that all sound like they're top of radio or at least sound like big soundtrack songs and they're com-
Today,
competitive for today? So if you said I have 30 songs that sound like they'd be in the Billboard charts, our conversation would be completely different. But it's something for you to be aware of. So if that is something that you want to do, if you're like, you know what, Adam, I really want to be a writer, producer, collaborator. I want to have a publishing deal, which is part of a business. That's less of a hobby. That's a business. Because now
yeah.
you're competing with other people who live off this. Like,
It might be too much for me too at my age and my stage as well, Adam. I
okay.
definitely,
And that's why I think it's important just to know what you're going up against. That's all. You know, if you choose to run down the road, I'm going to say, hey, Remo, keep going. I'll be the person who say keep going. But I just want you to be aware of when you step into that ring, you're going against people who are living on couches in Los Angeles who this
yeah,
is all they ever want and they'll do anything for it and they are going to studio sessions 2-3 times a day and they're staying up to 4 a.m. Like that's the lifestyle for them to get that first publishing check.
yes,
You know?
gotcha.
Okay. All right. So let's go into the collaboration part though. You said collaboration something you want to do. Now that's a different thing because collaborations I think is more accessible because of your skill set. And also, I mean, just being honest, I think if you work with people younger than yourself, you're gonna
Yeah, I
have
want to.
okay, you're gonna have a better chance of solidifying songs that sound current today. Quincy Jones, it was working with Michael Jackson. It's this whole thing of like a cycle. And I think it's important to take your sound and your skill sets and then apply them with someone who's up and coming. And that's how you get this really cool mixture.
That's how I think, that's actually the path I dream of.
Okay. Perfect.
I did it before. I actually got gold records on Billboard charts, R&B, but I actually have been on there, other artists,
As an engineer.
and as an engineer,
Yeah, but
correct.
not as a songwriter producer.
No,
Okay, so that's different.
it is.
It's different. Okay.
But that's where I came from.
That
So,
makes
but
sense.
that artist, I was there in the beginning with them.
Yeah.
So, and I was part of the 5-person team that
Yeah.
made this
Yeah.
person
So the
up.
beautiful thing is that you're able to see what it takes. You know the long hours, you know how many
It was.
songs, you know how tedious things have to be.
And we were put together too by the guy paying.
Most of my mentees are like younger, but I have a few who are 50 to 60 something, right? And they've gone through this as well, where when they usually come to me, their sound is a little bit dated for today. And the whole goal is me showing them how to get a modern sound in a very fast period of time because most of them are already great musicians. They've been playing for 30, 40 years. It's about them learning the new tones, the new styles of today. I mean, once they understand them, the musicality falls right behind. So I can't tell you where you're learning, but I can say there's a process to learning these things that you can make it fun, you can make it interesting, and then usually it takes about 3 months, 4 months. And after 3 or 4 months of them holding themselves accountable, practicing these things, it tends to like line up. And they're like, oh, I know that sound. I know exactly where to find it. I know what the artist sounds like. I know how to to listen to briefs. I know these things. I would say no matter where you do it, the important part is modernizing your sound, not your instincts, but some of the sound choices. Because if you do collaborate with people, it might be hard for them to be able to confidently pitch songs if they're recorded like the one you just played me. So if you worked with someone who's 24 right now and they played a song that's recorded like that sonically, it would be hard for them to walk into an executive room confidently in comparison with all the songs that the executive hears on a normal day basis that he's going to listen to or she's going to listen to.
Scaled down music compared to full band music?
No, not scaled down. This is a tonal thing. This is the actual tones of the instruments. This is the the approach. This is the sonics. This is the feel. There's things in there that when you learn them, you can't unlearn them. Like once you hear the things, if I was to give you an example, you'd be like, oh, I see what you're talking about. It's a different style today, not genre, which that's something different. Pop, R&B. I'm talking about style in the mix, style in the tones, characters. Kind of like I'm sure you felt like when you were working with certain compressors, a certain style that one compressor has versus another, but you have to be nuanced enough to hear it. That's what I'm talking about. Is right now those nuances are not there, probably just because you're not studying around the people who are using them.
I guess that's what I'm missing.
Yeah,
I'm missing something when you say or feel what you're feeling. So
yeah,
I accept that immediately. And I've heard that said different ways. So I've been trying to become more current. But like you said, it's me.
yeah,
And I'm very open to not just being me, as I've been trying to explain.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah. Okay, so where are you learning now? Like what communities are you in that you are?
I
Is where the
no,
cool okay,
nothing.
yeah, all right.
'Cause I'm not spending that extra time saying, "Here I am," other than creating and just checking out Facebook, what's going on there, but because I know a lot's going on, and then, of course,
Yeah,
I'm being solicited much
of
more
course,
than I thought I ever would.
of course. So here's what I'd recommend then. Okay, have you heard of the Golden Ear Gym?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Kind of feeding off of what you said. If you're looking for a community, you're looking for people to collaborate, you're looking to be to where you can grow your modernized ear, but use the skill sets that you already have. I'd highly recommend you join the Golden Ear Gym because it's a very simple thing to do. You don't have to go through an application process, but you're around other people who are learning high level information and you can reach out to people and say, hey, do you want to collaborate on a song? There is homework, so you have accountabilities. It's a really great place to meet other people. It's worldwide, so you have people from all different countries, their influences.
The people I have seen and would wanna talk to so far, said, "Dude, boy, I if I picked a mentor, I'd pick Adam. I know he could relate to me, I know we could get along, and I know he could move me along."
Yeah,
uh, without a bunch of nonsense that's just going to waste time because both of us know it.
yeah, exactly.
You,
And
you know, I get
you
my
said Philadelphia, man, and that's my growing up.
Philly.
That's my grandfather always had a Philadelphia Eagles hat on. There wasn't a game that we didn't watch.
Got you, brother.
All right, Remo. Good seeing you, man.
Hey,
Take care.
much love. All right.
Bye,
Thank
brother.
you. All right. See you.